Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining. My name is Gabriel. I'm the President and CEO of MicroWise Technology, and I have a few people, Kim and Rosemary, with me. They're going to be helping me some of the presentation. So this is a disclaimer. Anything you learn in this seminar, you need to verify yourself. MicroWise cannot be held responsible for any loss of revenue or data. This seminar is being recorded and will be made public within the next business or 2 business days. We also have all the previous seminar available online if you need it. This is the agenda for today. So we're going to go over the copay, co-insurance, and remaining deductible. We're going to go over the how to customize notes, financial KPI, patient KPI, and we're going to talk about some appointment reminders and patient engagement tools. So since this is the beginning of the year, I want to talk about a few items that can help you improve cash flow for your practice. So this is my top 5 pick. Number 1 is you should be using real-time enhanced eligibility verification. What does that mean? This is what it will look like. So when you're doing eligibility, this is one of the clearinghouse that we have, which is owned by Lytec. Now, what it does for you, it will give you the co-payment, and it will also give you the remaining deductible for this patient, how much they have not met. So let me explain how important that is. So beginning of the year, a lot of practices I've seen over the years, they're dodging sending any claims. So they hold on their claims until May, June, July. I seen even later, which is very sad. The reason I think it's sad because it's hurting your cash flow. It's holding your claim. And I don't know if it's, might not be even legal to do that. The dangers here is that patient could have changed insurance. That patient could have went and doing maybe they went and they doing Advantage Medicare, and if you're not checking eligibility, holding on their claims because you're always done. So you could be holding the bag here with that patient, switch to Advantage Medicare, and you have no idea, thinking that they still have Medicare, and you have a big problem. So by doing eligibility, you know if their insurance that you have on file is valid, you know what's the deductible, and by knowing the deductible, you can ask the patient. There's a lot of patients. Yes, I know there's a lot of people cannot afford it, but there's a lot of patients that willing to pay the deductible upfront. They know they have to pay it, so get it over with and collect your money and make it simpler for yourself and for your practice and for the patient, because you ask for that money. And by having a tool that show you how much they have not met the deductible, it makes it easier to know how much to ask for exactly. So that's really my suggestion. Other suggestions is send statements. So if a patient did not bring their credit card, didn't bring a checkbook, you need to send a statement at least once a month. The more you send, the better your cash flow will get. I've seen practices sending statement once a week. Of course, you need to do it in a way that you're not duplicating statements, so you don't want to be sending the same statement over and over again. My rule of thumb is the patient will get a statement every 28 days. So you're still billing the patient that came last week and the patient that came the week before if you already sent it 28 days ago. So you're not holding once a month, but at least once a month. And if you need help with that, I have a lot of tools that can help you with that. And of course, there's, some of my suggestion is use online payment. So there's online payment that goes by text now. There's online payment that goes with the statement, and it makes it simpler for the patient to pay. And of course, you want to take credit card when you do that. So if you would like to get engaged, so you can just unmute your microphone, and you can I rather hear the question from you directly. If you rather type the question, then Kim is going to help me reading the question, and I will do my best to answer it. The next things that we have is there's KPIs in Lytec. I'm assuming now this is I'm showing you a feature in Lytec 2023. If you're in the Lytec cloud, you should be scheduling your upgrade soon. I think it's getting released, if I'm not mistaken. So Lytec 2023 has KPI built in it. So there's two different KPI, and you get to choose one of them. You cannot do both of them. So depending on the user, so some user are patient centric, and some users are financial. So this is the financial KPI. So when you log into your Lytec, depending, are you getting the financial KPI or the dashboard, or you getting the patient? So you will get statistic like this. It will show you production report. So this would come up the first on the screen. It will show you how much charges you have in, by month, this month versus last month in the same time. This is an old screenshot, of course. This is year to date and has a variance comparing last year. As I always say, in running a business, you are running a business. Yes, I know some medical practice don't think it's a business, but it is a business. What you don't measure, you don't manage. So we need to measure things and we need to manage them. So what is this is showing you? It's showing you what is that particular month you measuring against the same month last year, and what is the variance? Are you moving positive, or moving negative? Then it's also taking the year to date and it's comparing it to last year and is giving you the variance. And it's also giving you what is your average AR. So how many days until you get paid? This is average out of all your claims. And what is your percentage of your AR that's over 90 days? So this is important information to know. And also, if you're a billing company or you are a practice that wants to reward your people by having KPI, it's easier to come up with rewards to incentivize the hardworking people that work so hard. If you want to give them bonus or anything by measuring KPI like that, it's really important, especially how many days a claim stays how many days above 90 days, which is a very important data here. Then it gives you the nice graph here. So this is the KPI financial related. This one is patient related. So this one will show you patient visits counts, for this period versus the previous period. What is the percentage of appointments is canceled or missed? And what is the average charge per visit? So now when you set up your screen in Lytec 2023, you get to choose if the user wants to see KPI as soon as they log in. And as soon as they log in, so let me just demonstrate how that looks. So I already have my KPI, of course, set up here. Okay, so I'm going to close and I'm going to exit. So once you log into your Lytec, it will pop depending on how your user is set up, which KPI. So either you'll get the patient, you cannot get both based on the user. So I picked the patient KPI. So it pops up on the screen and just look at it. You can print it. You can change providers. If you have multiple providers, you can refresh the screen with, maybe you only want to see this provider, and this provider, and you hit OK, and it will update the data. You can change the date range. So you can have the date range change and so on and so forth. You got the idea. Once you close, then it looks like your normal Lytec, and you back to normal. Okay. Let me make sure I didn't miss any. The next item on standard statement, the next topic is how to get customized notes on the statement. So of course, in Lytec, we have the standard notes here. So when you go under payment, you have the statement messages, and this is the standard message. This is what the message you want to have. If the patient is over 60 days, over 90 days, over 120 days, so you can customize the message. Also, I highly, highly recommend if you want to automate your statements to use Bill Flash. I love using Bill Flash because it will eliminate the process of printing the statement, mail them, licking the stamp, licking the envelope. And I love this feature here. So when I have a patient on the screen, I'm able, so let's say I go here to Adams, and I'm sure you've seen this feature here. It says eView. So if this eView, it might be great for you because you might not be using this feature. So when you click on eView, it actually takes you to Adam's account on Bill Flash, and it will show you if Adam ever had a statement, and you can scroll through Adam's statements one by one, and you can see every statement you sent to Adam, and you can read the message that you wrote for Adam. Or so you can, when you in the process of sending those statements, it can pick those standard canned messages that I showed you on the screen. Also, when you're sending the statement, you can actually tailor it to have a custom statement. Maybe you spoke with Adam on the phone and you want to write, acknowledge what you just agreed on, and this is your latest statement, and this is our payment arrangement that you have. So by tailoring the statement, so you can write the message, and this is, you can customize it. So using Bill Flash, it makes it a lot easier to customize those messages, and it's beautiful to see it here on demand. So if Adam calls you a week from today, you see things here, you know exactly what Adam is looking at in their hand, what the statement look like, what message is written on it. So you have up-to-date information. So this is, I highly recommend to use this. And if Adam had multiple statements through, maybe for the month of December and the month of November, you can scroll through the statements here. So you can scroll through the statements here. The next thing is the enhanced eligibility, or the eligibility that's built in. We talked about that already. All right. So that's the next topic we're going to talk about is patient engagement and patient reminder. So I want to introduce Rosemary Bright. Rosemary is from a sister company. I developed a company called Vosita. Vosita is a patient engagement company, it does online appointments, and it also does patient reminders and all of that. So she's going to show you a quick demo of the idea behind Vosita, how it's supposed to help your practice. Hopefully we start the year 2023 bringing you lots of patients to your practice. Okay, without any further ado, Rosemary.
Good afternoon, everyone. Robert, thank you so much. And once again, you did steal my thunder, so we need to work on that intro. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. On the screen, you see my contact information. Again, I'm Rosemary Bright. I am part of the Vosita team. My contact information, along with my email, is listed on this slide. As Robert mentioned a couple of times, this will be recorded, so you'll be able to access my information at a later time if need be. We created Vosita with a purpose, and like Robert said, this is a product and a solution created by MicroWise, by our CEO himself, Robert Gabriel. And the idea was to connect providers and patients whenever, wherever. The intention is to give patients the flexibility to go online, search for availability, and book from the convenience of their mobile device or using a desktop computer. With Vosita, it really allows a medical practice to stay open for business, technically 24 hours a day, because the patient doesn't have to wait until the next morning during business hours to pick up the phone and make an appointment. They can easily do that through Vosita as long as you have availability listed. So the big question is, why Vosita? In a world where we have tons of options, why should we look at Vosita? And the answer is simple. It was created and designed by a company you trust, MicroWise Technology. It is truly an integrated solution with Lytec 2023. It's one of the only integrated solutions, may I add. It's easy to create availability. So you're creating the availability directly within your scheduler, so there's no need to be maintaining different calendars or different databases. It's all built into your 2023 Lytec. It gives your patients online scheduling options. Again, if you're the busy person that is juggling a family and a full-time job, you may not necessarily have the time to call your medical professional, your medical provider during the normal business hours. Therefore, giving your patients the flexibility to go online and schedule is extremely important for people out there. It's a great marketing tool. With Vosita, we give you the ability to list your practice, create your profile, share relevant information regarding your provider on our platform. And it's just a great way to not only give patients, your existing patients, the flexibility to schedule, but also attract new patients in your community that are seeking care. So it's a great tool to increase the revenue, increase your online exposure, and get new patients in the door. We also have built-in reminders and appointment confirmation communication, which allows you to overall reduce the number of no-show appointments and also increase the revenue for the office. And lastly, I do want to highlight, I got ahead with the revenue there. It's a great tool for your front office team. You no longer have to have a front office member pick up the phone and call and confirm the day before. Vosita can do that for you, freeing up your team's time so they can allocate that towards other issues that might lead to, again, increasing the overall revenue. Next, I want to show you, we're going to go through the slides, and then if there's any questions, I can certainly take you through the website. But this is Vosita.com. Again, our platform is designed to give patients the ability to search for available appointments based on specialty, provider, location, insurance plan, date and time. And of course, you can narrow it down to whether or not you're looking for an in-office visit or a virtual visit. So all that is available through Vosita.com. How does the interface work? This is where the drum rolls kick in. First thing you're going to do is you're going to create availability within Lytec. You're going to go to scheduling, create a template, and then you have to be very specific in terms of what you're creating. You're going to identify your provider, your location. You're going to select the days and times for that available time slot. And as you're already familiar, you would color code your reasons. And if you're using resources, you can do that as well. Once that's created within Lytec, that information will be displayed on Vosita.com. This is just a demo, so I'm just giving you an overview of how the flow works. The Lytec availability calendar is updated, and it will automatically update on Vosita.com. As you can see here, I have a provider listed on my screen with available times. As a patient, I can simply go on Vosita.com, select the available time that I'm interested in, and I can continue with the scheduling process. Now, if you're brand new to Vosita as a patient, it's very easy to create a patient profile. You simply go in, you you select register, new patient, and then you fill in the information. The next screen, in terms of the patient experience, once you've identified an appointment time and a provider that works for you, what you're going to do is you're going to select that time and fill in the blanks. Based on information that I've entered in the past, it's going to store whether I have an insurance card associated to my account. I can now indicate whether I'm a new patient or I'm an existing patient by simply selecting this drop-down arrow. I can change my response based on, have you seen this provider before? Yes or no. Again, this is the location and the date and time of the appointment that I've selected, along with my contact information. If there's any special notes that I want to add to this appointment, I can easily type that in under the notes for the doctor here. Once you select to book an appointment, what happens next is that the patient will receive an email confirmation. This confirmation will just indicate, again, the appointment time that I've selected for the provider, and it'll contain all that information on a single screen. As you can see, I have the provider's information. I can click on view on Google Maps. I can get directions, so on and so forth. Also, once I've completed the appointment within my Vosita patient profile, I will then have an option to see what my available appointments or what my appointments are for the future. If it's an in-office appointment, it'll be indicated with this image. If it was a telemedicine appointment, it would simply have a phone, image of a phone as well. What happens in Lytec? So once as a patient, once I've located or I found an appointment on Vosita.com and I've booked it, the status of the appointment would change on Lytec 2023. So it'll show that that appointment is no longer available. Now, the staff will also get an email confirmation letting them know that the patient Rosemary Bright has booked an appointment and the appointment details. So not only will you get the instant visual on your Lytec scheduler, but you'll also get an electronic email indicating the appointment detail information. If a provider chooses, they want to get a text message confirmation that a new appointment has been booked, that can also be triggered within the system. What happens in Vosita? So as a provider, pardon my typo, as a provider, you will then have the ability to log on to your account on Vosita.com, and you'll see a list of your upcoming scheduled appointments. If it is an office visit, as I mentioned before, you're going to have this little image. If it is a telemedicine visit, as you see here, you would simply start that telemedicine visit by clicking on the icon of the symbol of the phone. So as a provider, what happens, or as a staff member, is when you receive the email confirmation and you log on to your profile, you can simply click on the patient's name, and Vosita will display your patient detail information. If it's a brand new patient, again, we typically encourage our customers to continue with the normal workflow that you would normally take if your patient called in the office and you took their information over the phone. You want to validate their information, you want to take on their insurance info, and that's all provided through Vosita. And that is all, folks. I welcome any questions, concerns, comments. You loved it, you hate it, you want to sign up, let me know. I'm all ears. Creating a profile is very simple. All you have to do, and let me take you here, is go to Vosita.com, and that is Vosita.com. And once you're on the website, you're going to simply search for availability, as I mentioned earlier. If you're going to register for the first time, whether you're a patient or a provider, you can simply click on the register option on the top right-hand corner and enter the information on the necessary fields. And okay, any questions? I guess I did a good job, huh? I slipped a few times, but I'm working on that.
Okay, great job, Rose. Thank you. So most important, Vosita is actually at no cost for the patient or for you. So you will have it about a year at no charge, but even after the year, it's going to be very reasonable charge. It's going to be under $100 to use this per month. So that I just want to make sure that it works for you, and hopefully you will generate a lot more and saving a lot more money than actually what is going to cost you when you start paying for it. But right now it's free. I don't have a date yet when it's going to be starting to have to charge money, but I'm guessing within 12 months. So, I hope you like it. I want everybody to sign up. You can link it to your website. On your website, you can have an icon called schedule appointment. And when you click on it, it shows you availability. It takes you to your Vosita account, and with your availability on Vosita, which is integrated with your Lytec, and patient can just book you, and it will remove it. It will book it in Lytec. It will remove the spots from Vosita. Nobody double books you. And it's, if a patient wakes up 2:00 in the morning, they're sick or the loved one is sick, they don't have to wait for the office to open. They can actually schedule the appointment in the middle of the night. Then they know if there's an open spot in the morning. They know if they can take the day off or not, because they can come and see you. So if you're a billing company, you can offer this to your provider. It doesn't cost anything. It will even generate more business for you and for them. Okay.
Great point, Robert. Actually, thank you so much, because I did miss linking it to the site. But I also wanted to add, kind of tying it back to your presentation earlier, is, how do you inform your patients that you're online, you're with Vosita, and they could book appointments? Utilizing the built-in statements that you have available in Lytec, and putting a custom message, letting your patients know that they can go on to Vosita.com to schedule appointments is again a great way to keep the information flowing, and already using the mailing that you're already sending out to your patients. So thank you for allowing me, Robert, to share with the team. If there's any questions, once again, my contact information is listed on the screen. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to set up your practice on Vosita.com and create availability. And if you are interested, please call me or send me an email, and I'll get you started. Thank you once again.
Thank you. All right. Well, if there's no questions, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I want to thank you so much for your business. Happy New Year, everybody. Let me share my contact information one more time. This is my contact information. You can email me or you can call me direct. I want to thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Thank you so much for your business. Have a wonderful day.